I've decided to stream straight to Facebook because I think it just makes it better. So I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. We're 2 hours different to what we normally do. Normally on at 4 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time because I live in Sydney. But it's 6 p.m. here, or 6:07, and so any of the English guys, this might be a bit better for you at 8 a.m. G'day to anyone wherever you are around the world. I have an Explorer's hat on, which I found at an op shop a couple of months ago in Woy Woy, Sunny Coast. Just thought it might add a bit of flair to this live because I am flat as fuck. I didn't eat properly today. I was meant to come home and have a couple of mangoes. Few foreigners. Mango is a 4x gold. I've got a couple of mangoes in the fridge, but I just pissed pretty much brown and didn't eat enough food, so I just smashed a banana then. But yeah, it's if you know when you drink and you're dehydrated and you haven't eaten properly and you just feel like you've run a marathon and you just know you're going to get like sloppy, kind of drunk. That's the shit that's kind of drunk for me. That's gotten me into trouble a lot of times. I was just having a look at the 101 token stats in the back end. We just did an update. I hope nothing's going on. Should be sweet. So yeah, we just did an update to the app, and I'm sure it's all fine. And I looked at the token numbers. So there's been 44,800 and something tokens registered in total this year. That's pretty sick. I've mentioned 76 different countries, which is pretty rad. Maybe it's 78 by now, but I cannot be fucked going back through and checking it out. Hey, Chris, what's going on, man? We need to chat. I need to hear what you're up to lately, mate. Yeah, so that's pretty sick. Like 44,000 something times that people have been like, well, yeah, got on the piss last night and actually being mindful about their drinking, hopefully drawing out those traits and identifying different ways to, have a better time next time. And I wanted to just check out Bondi, and there's been 99 tokens spent in Bondi. It's pretty cool. I don't really check your tokens. I'm not scrolling through to see what people are doing. If someone requests it or if they're doing the course with us and I'm talking to them one-on-one, then I'll have a look and we'll go into a bit deeper. But unfortunately, because there's 11,200 and something of you guys who've downloaded the app, I can't look through it. But hopefully with some technological advancements that will be coming, I'll be able to send you guys some information based on your token years. Whenever you started, your token count will reset after 12 months automatically. So we're looking at figuring out how we can send you a little email and just with how you went, looking into the next year and or your next 12 months. And if you've gone over 101, don't fucking worry. A lot of you guys, I love that you've been honest and said, yeah, I've gone over, and who gives a shit? It's fine. Like the main thing is that you're being honest with your drinking. I did get an email from someone anonymous. So I won't say what names or anything like that. But yeah, that it helped them seek a different kind of help with their drinking based on the fact that the whole year of 101 tokens, they smashed over 101 and it in sort of 9 months. But then that reflection and understanding the anxiety and the feelings that they were having from drinking has allowed them to seek somewhere else to get help. And that's fucking brilliant. At first, I kind of thought about it and went, oh, maybe that's a bit shit. Like I feel like I've let that person down, but in fact, it's kind of nice. Like it's pretty powerful, and it is something that we don't really talk about a lot, and it's something that we want to build in. And like we do have Clinton, who's our clinical psychologist. Hey Josh, hey Morgs, how you going? Who we can lean on, but he's only one dude. Hey Marcus, you frother. There you go. We got someone from the UK. Yeah, so that system's pretty important. But when I was actually just having a quick look at the amount of tokens that have been spent in Bondi, I was like, what we used to do last year when we were a bit smaller is people used to write blogs. So you don't have to write a blog. If you're worried about your writing, like people were last year, they'd send me a bunch of shit. I'm a writer, so I would do a bit of editing, say, are you cool with this? And we post it. Now, I don't even care. You don't have to do a blog. But I think there could be something interesting around, and one of the like most interesting parts was to ask people, like what was your favourite token of the year? So what was your best yay and what was your complete fuck up? So what was like your worst nay and what did you learn from it? And those stories are pretty cool. And so I might start just throwing it out there. If anyone wants to share it, maybe they can jump on to a call. Maybe we can do like a private little recording of that. Or maybe we can just, I can just listen and we can write something up. Because those things are really good for everyone to learn. Because sometimes you can feel like you're the only one who fucks up. Especially when you're sitting there with your bit of anxiety watching your Netflix bender and going, oh, fuck it, I've got an A. And we should just be like, great opportunity to learn and move on. Interestingly, I was like hunting through my stuff and I found like 101 tokens old school right here. So that's how we used to put all the stuff in, like all the no text, so yays and nays. I just had a quick look. I was trying to find like a bit of a Larry nay. It's interesting having a flick through. Last year I got 91. No, sorry, I used 91 tokens and I got 92%. So there should be about 8 nays in here. And it's interesting. The ones that are nays, like there's a couple of Bucks parties and it's not so much that their night wasn't fucking awesome. It was just that like towards the end, that's when I just sort of, I know I'm not good on hard spirits when they're free flowing. And generally that's kind of the time that it all goes to shit. G'day, Michael Lillis. How you going, mate? Bruce Lillis, as he's also known, also from the UK. And it's so like I think some people can take a bit of an offence. I know my mates have taken an offence when I've thrown a nay out for like some of the most ripping nights, and it's purely a lot of the time my fucking fault. Or I've just like got to a point where I go, like I just had this last vodka, and then next minute blackout, and you do things like piss yourself, which is something I thankfully haven't done too much this year. And I don't really like to talk about it too much because it's one of those psychological things that can really get into your head. But I found that like talking about it probably does help. There was one occasion, and that's why you might have seen in some of the comments the other week when I was talking about my old football club. The boys had a little bit of a dig and loved to remind me every time. And that was when we won the title, and I was in a state of extreme fatigue. / I'd been smashing schooners and the whole night before in Newcastle till about 4 a.m. and eating a kebab, and then went all the way to Sydney, won a title, and then got back on the bus and just got fair into it. And so I was basically ruined by 8 o'clock. Woke up in the middle of the night. I don't remember doing this. Apparently it happened because that's what the boys said. Went to the fridge and thought it was the toilet, and took a wee in the fridge. So not one of my finer moments. G'day, Nico. What's going on? Man, actually, a lot of these people who are, Suza, it's cracking. A lot of the guys who are on here watching, I've had some Larry benders with over the years, specifically back in my party days. Not that I party now, it's just a little bit less pee and fridge vibe. But yeah, if you've done those fuck ups, it's fine to have a chat about them. You don't have to put it on the fucking internet, but sometimes you just get to a Friday and you feel like revealing some stuff. But back to my point, it's kind of like, most of my days were literally like good days out, and then you just fucked it right at the end. And then there's a couple that are like where you've gone out for a couple of beers or something, and you've gone, I didn't actually need the beers then. That wasn't, I don't know, I didn't achieve anything. I didn't make my night any better. But yeah, for the majority, I think I have good mates because I think I'm back on 92% again this year, 91, 92%. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I'd love to see more of the stats as well. Obviously, I can dive in and have a look, but I'd like to not do that. So if you want to post your own and say where you're up to, where you got to, actually, Simon, been talking to the big show. Congratulations on your bub that's coming. So I used to play AFL in London. They have AFL in London. So there's so many of us fucking convicts over there. I used to play with the boys, and they're actually keen to do some 101 tokens, like stuff for their team. So if you've got a team out there, we might also be working with, in a collaboration, who we got there? Manly Cricket Club. and yeah, they were kind of keen to do something as well. So the sport teams are an interesting one because obviously, as I've said, you can be that's some of the most fun times to get on the booze and like throw some of the best parties. Shout out to my old AFL team, the Wimbledon Hawks in London, and also um, the boys over at UTS Bats. Good fun. Know how to put on a good function. And so, yeah, there's probably some good mindful drinking that can be done around that. And that's not to say to get rid of like the fucking awesomeness of, train competition that we would have after the boat race. Sorry, train. You can tell my brain's not working. Train. Boat races and things like that, which are tradition, but it just means that we could throw in a few cheeky tactics, which we know, and that's what we talk about. And imagine if we can have a bit more of a mindful boozing sporting culture as well. Maybe we'd be better at fucking sport. Soccer in particular, but yeah, that's another story. So if anyone's got any questions that are on here, feel free to fire them at me because I'm pretty out of gas today. As I said, I haven't really eaten properly. I was running around the city. It was a glorious day, actually, in the city, doing some team building stuff, which is nice because normally most of the time when I'm working behind a computer. And, that can just suck balls after a while. But yeah, I can have a look at what was my last month of tokens, which is usually like December's pretty, we're getting into silly season. And yeah, it looks like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 tokens in December for me. But that's because I just moved back to Bondi, so I was pretty much amongst it, and there was a lot of good parties, like good industry parties, and I go to a lot of startup stuff, and yeah, so a lot of free booze. So I'm actually pretty stoked on that. One night, and I'm pretty sure I know what one it was because I remember the next day, and there's a few beer sessions in a row, but I've noted down here, which is good of me, that some of them are only 2 beers here, 4 there. Lads' night at the Shamrock. That was, well, flatmate came off his bike, so that was pretty good. Don't drink and drive. We were all hooning. We were just so excited, lads' night, and jumped on our new pushies and banged it down the main road of Bondi, and he did a front flip over the handlebars. And wear your helmets. And yeah. So anyway, we've got 6 viewers. I'm going to tell an adventure story. I'm going to tell a story about Spain, like a massive nay. When I was back in, when I was living in London, I was working my job. I loved all the people I worked for, this software company, but a fair few of my clients were massive dickheads. And it was a tough company to work for because sometimes the softwares didn't work. If you ever worked in a software company or any company where the product doesn't work, it can be a pain in the ass. And I'd been busting my butt for it, and I had this 2 weeks off and ended up spending my whole time at the airport in a pitch, which I didn't want to be in. And then when I got off the plane, I checked in, I went down the beach, and I went and had 1 beer, and then my phone was just exploding, and I ended up going back. It was a 1 beer token, and it was a yay, so that was good. Had a really nice meal, but I ended up working through the night into the next day, and I just ended up like completely I just said, I'm turning my phone off, I'm turning my computer off, I'm in Spain, and told them all. And guess what? You know what? The world didn't explode, and the clients got their shit. And that was a good lesson for me to, you feel like you're the most important person at a company, but you're really not. And the wheels will continue to turn for the most part, unless you're a surgeon. Don't take that same mentality in open heart surgery or something like that. But oh shit, fuck. See, I didn't know there was like round of beers with the boys to get ya. Probably no, it's Stoptober over here, Marcus. I didn't know I could scroll down and you guys were posting. Facebook, fucking terrible. 19 days sober, ripping Marcus. That's so good. Mine's still 16, so you smashed me. What's the gender ratio on 101 tokens? I'm not sure, actually. That's a good question because I don't actually ask that. And then you've got those Larry names where it could be Jess or Jessie, sorry, and it could be dude or a chick. But it would be good. Maybe we can poll that. Maybe you can add that into the app. I'd say like for the people that comment and people who sign up to courses and stuff, it always seems to be a little bit more to the female skew. But that could just be because I think honestly females are better at talking about things and actually being honest about their fucking relationships with alcohol and mental health and stuff like that. Where us dudes like to keep it in, and I know the feeling. Go with the fucking piss out, yeah, boys, go to the boys. And Marcus taking up boxing, the absolute frother. That's sick. First fight in 2019. Marcus lives in London and had one of the best token days of all time when I set up a pirate-themed party on his ship. I used to work for a crowdfunding company, and we raised money to rebuild his boat called Lady Doris. And so I got like 18 of the boys, like my boys from London, and we all dressed up as pirates. And then the boat didn't actually move because he hadn't fixed the engine yet. So it's just all of us in a boat, just getting absolutely mindfully drunk. Maybe not so mindful back then. I don't think we were really doing the tokens thing. But yeah, I might have been. So maybe it was an A. But yeah, way back, and it was so good. And yeah, basically, if you get 18 dudes dressed as pirates on the Thames, if you don't know, like, it was a pretty swanky part of the Thames. So you had people with their big boats and whatever, and there was a few leery people on the shore, but for the most part, they weren't too stoked with pirates like yelling, and like this dude went past on his on a canoe, like a 2-man canoe with his family, and one of the boys has just grenaded a tinny, like probably good 25 meters, and he's just plucked it out of the air. Ultimate legend. I'd like to say that he did the solo man and cracked it and just went, but he probably didn't. But yeah, so that was sick. Cheers, Scouse, smashing it. Thanks, bro. Wherever you are in the world. Troy, cracking man. Oh, T, congrats, just had a kid. Talbot, just had a kid. I was just talking about the girls, and Sarah joined as well. See you on Sunday, Sarah. Maybe have a cheeky token, hey? Yeah, I was talking about girls, but the boys are ruling today in terms of comments and people who are in the group. Where did I get to? Yeah, so, I guess most of you guys have seen me at my worst and at my best. Stevie Lay, g'day, mate. Yeah, I was talking about Spain before, and I think that one, I just went out and I went, fuck the world. I'm going to go. I just like signed up for the pub crawl, was at a hostel, and I went out with like 20 people, and I was just buying everyone. It was in Barcelona, it's cheap, so it wasn't as if I was rolling in cash, but I bought, I was buying jugs, I was buying like jugs of mojitos, and I just remember like, this is a sick night. And then I went, I'm going to end up fucked here. And lo and behold, I apparently went out the whole night with them. The whole night I went out. I don't remember anything past the second pub. We went to all these nightclubs and all this stuff. I woke up at roughly probably 7 o'clock in the morning, full Barcelona summer, to an old lady just putting coins back onto my chest, just placing coins back onto my chest. And that was a massive nay. But the rest of that trip, which I went to Canada and I went to a wedding. I was one of the groomsmen at my mate Pat's wedding. Every other night after that was a full-on yay, because I just, like, that was the only belter I really got on because, yeah. And I was drinking for the wrong reasons. Not to say I didn't party pretty hard when I was over there, but yeah, it was sick. It was a bug in my room. So yeah, that was an interesting one. I kind of think about that a lot. If I ever get that urge, I kind of to just smash it because I'm pissed off. I just think about Barcelona and the fact that, anything could happen that night. One of many stupid moments. But yeah, would I take it back? No. You got to live, you learn. You can't take anything back anyway. You can only live in the present. Learn from the past, live in the present. Don't even worry about the future. Just live in the now. I guess that's the vibe of what everyone's talking about these days. They'll probably get sort of hipsterized and fucked. Yeah, guys, that's been about 19 minutes. I was just going to go like 15 and tap out because I need to go eat something. I'm going to explore a hat. I might go out for some scotches. I got invited over for some scotches to my mate who looks like Mo Salah. Josh, shout out to you. And But yeah, guys, if you wanted to put in the comments what you're doing tonight, if you like, or just some questions or anything. Otherwise, I'm going to check out. Yeah, that's a good 20 minutes. We usually do half an hour. So just to reiterate, if anyone wants to talk about their good and bad experiences and wants to jump on this live, that could be heaps of fun. Otherwise, I'll try my best. I was supposed to have a 101 expert on today doing a little cheeky interview, but we'll save him for next week or the week after. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Have a ripping weekend as usual. Think about your drinking. Use the think cycle for the drink cycle. Think pre, think during, think post, and draw on your why for why you are drinking in the first place, or why you want to become a better drinker or a happy drinker. Is something I've been playing with. Maybe that's a better name. Everyone just wants to be happy, don't they? Inevitably. Everyone wants to be successful and happy. So the successful drinker doesn't really work, does it? It sounds like you're just going to get absolutely panelled. But the happy drinker, it's kind of like that hacking tipsy vibe. It's kind of in that space where it's, yeah, if we can all get happy without getting, don't use that word, incorrect, PC world, without getting completely mangled, then that's what we should aim for. So Sharkers, not too many people watching now, so good time to duck out. And I hope you guys have a ripping weekend. Peace.